Hey there, this is attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law P.C. We are a business and trademark law firm that offers subscription legal services to business owners. We're based in Philadelphia and the suburbs. One question we get from clients is, if I have an online business, what types of documents or things do I really need to protect myself? So that's kind of a tough question to answer because obviously it depends in large circumstance. What exactly are you doing online? What are you selling online? How are you selling it? On what platforms are you selling it? Because that could be a number of different things. Number one is if you're selling on a platform like Amazon, there might be a number of things you need. So number one is if you are selling products on Amazon, you might have to consider whether you are required to join the Amazon brand registry. If that's something that's required of you, you need to get a trademark registration. You need to get a trademark application in ASAP because of the long time frame now for trademarks. If you need help with that, obviously reach out to our office. We'll have our phone number at the end here for you. Now, if you are off Amazon and let's say you are doing business online, maybe on your own website, on your own platform, there's quite a few things that you still might need. You should always be thinking the terms of service and privacy policy for your website. Now, what do those things do? Most of the people have seen them before. They probably don't bother reading them. I would tell you the next time you go on a website, actually open one of those up and try to read through it. You'll see that there's a lot of information in there. One thing that we see people doing is actually copying and pasting all the terms and service of a website from someone else's into their own. We would strongly tell you to not ever do that. That can get you in a ton of legal trouble. Number one, you're taking someone else's intellectual property and copying it without their permission. Number two, you should not ever assume that someone else's terms and service, even if it's a business similar to yours, would be the same terms of service that you want your web policy to have. So you should really have those customized for yourself. It might cost you a bit of money, using an attorney to do that, but that would be well advised rather than copying and pasting. Now, if you look in those, you'll see that that has a lot of information in there. So if you're selling products on your website, it might have the terms under which someone could return the products. It would have how to reach you. It would have what people can and can't do while they're on your website. It would give you reasons to remove someone or block them from your website. Lots of things that you really want to be able to enforce, but you can only do that if those terms have been customized for you, and assuming you just didn't copy and paste from someone else and it's not actually what you wanted. Now, privacy policies are extremely important. In some states, you really have to know what's going on there. California has its own online privacy laws. If you are advertising or selling products to anyone in the European Union, the EU, you have to strongly consider whether you are subject to GDPR, which is a European law regarding privacy online and what type of data you are collecting from people. Now, your privacy policy should outline what information you're collecting and what you're going to do with it. You need to disclose whether you're keeping cookies and how you plan to use that data. If you're going to sell it to other people, which we normally recommend you do not do, that would be something you need to disclose to people when they visit your website. So again, privacy policy is not something you should take from someone else's website and copy and paste it and use it as your own. You should really have one properly developed for you in your business. Now, if you are selling things online, you should also have some legal documents when someone buys something that pops up with the terms of the sale. So for example, if I'm going to go to a website and buy, a new vacuum cleaner, right? Yes, there are terms and services on that and privacy policy in the website, usually in the footer. But if I go and actually try to complete the sale, if you're in a business where you think you might have a lot of returns, if you think there could be chargebacks, if you think there could be some problems maybe with people ordering things from your site, it would be advisable to potentially have another pop-up box come when someone makes a purchase that says, hey, by the way, you agree that by purchasing this, number one, there's no returns, or maybe there's returns that are unopened. Maybe it's returns that have to be done within 10 days. Maybe those returns have to be pre-authorized by your business before someone ships it back. You should have that pop up when someone completes the transaction, because sometimes the excuse is, oh, I didn't read the terms of service, the font's too small. And the more you can put that in front of someone and affirmatively make them acknowledge those terms, the better off it'll be for you and the more enforceable they might be for you. Okay, aside from that, purchase terms popping up at the time of the sale, another thing you really want to have for your business is a proper copyright notice at the bottom of your website, and make sure that that's stating any of the text and images on your site are owned by your business, the date they were published, and assert some ownership rights over those items. The other thing you want to make sure of, especially if you did not do your website yourself, is that all of the items on your website, including the images, the copyright, and anything else you're using is truly stuff that belongs to you, meaning these are things that have a proper license. If you're using photographs that someone else took, that you have a commercial license to use those or the proper license in place. If you have copy on your website, you want to make sure that you own that copy. So if you didn't write it and you hired someone else, you need to go back to that agreement and make sure that you were given proper rights and ownership over those things to have them on your website. The worst thing to do is have a website where you have content on there that you don't even know actually belongs to someone else and you find out later. So that's definitely stuff you want to make sure as well, that you own the things on your website. Finally, right now there's a big push, or there has been for a number of years, to make websites accessible for the disabled. So that could be someone that's blind and you want, or someone that's very hard, it's difficult for them to see. You can have websites that are disability accessible, and sometimes now if you go to a website, you'll see the little icon on it, meaning that that website is in fact accessible for the disabled. That's a potential area of litigation right now, where you might one day wake up and find a letter from a lawyer stating that your website is not disability accessible. So if you have a web developer, you want to make sure you know what you would need to comply with that. Other than that, those are the biggest things that you would need if you are running an online business. If you have any questions about forms that you need, or you need help with any of these items, feel free to reach out to our office. Our number is 215-482-0285.